Hey guys, and welcome back to What If Soul. I'm your host, Broken Soul, and it's time for a new episode of What If Ash Could Start Over. But before we get started, guys, as always, please hit that like button and subscribe. It means so much to me. And as always, guys, the recap. When we last left off, Ash and Misty had finally had their full 6-on-6 Pokemon battle. Ash's Riolu had finally hatched from the egg, and Misty was able to see eye to eye with her older sisters, allowing her to leave the gym in their care while she continues to travel on with Ash and Brock. We can now move on with the main story. Our heroes had barely left Cerulean City only a few hours ago, but you know Ash, he couldn't help himself. We actually find him in the middle of a battle with a fellow trainer, but because it's Ash and Pikachu, they take down that trainer's Raticate, no issue. After the battle, Brock comes over and actually offers to heal up both Pikachu and Raticate, which of course both trainers are happy to take. Brock is getting in some practice being a Pokemon doctor, and in the meantime, Ash is actually speaking with the other trainer. The trainer actually goes on to say, "Man, Ash, you are insanely strong. In fact, you should probably test your skills out at the gym just up ahead." That's when Ash gets confused, saying, "You mean Cerulean City?" Ash says as he shows the other trainer his Cascade badge that he won at the gym as proof. The other trainer then shakes his head, saying, "No, not the Cerulean City gym. I mean, there's another gym up ahead. It's not sanctioned by the Pokemon League or anything like that. It's run by some guy named AJ." That's when Ash gets a surprised look in his face, going, "AJ? I haven't heard that name in a long time. I thought he was still on the journey." It's around this time that Brock comes back over saying, "What about AJ?" Ash looking over to him and saying, "AJ reopened his gym. I guess he's back over there again." Brock going, "Wow, it's been a long time. I wonder how he's been doing." That's when Ash, Brock, and Misty make their way toward AJ's gym. Upon arriving, Ash, Misty, and Brock are all amazed. They see AJ's tent, the giant battlefield, and the giant wooden gate surrounding it. AJ has reopened his gym. So they make their way inside, where they actually see AJ actually sweeping up the battlefield. He looks over and he sees Ash, Misty, and Brock. AJ actually gets a really big smile on his face, running over saying, "Ash, Misty, Brock, it's been a long time." That's when our three heroes actually catch up and greet AJ, talking about the old times, how things have been, what they've been up to. Needless to say, AJ gets a huge surprised look on his face when he finds out that Ash is the champion of a distant region, going on to say, "Wait, you became the champion of the Alola League? I remember going there once for vacation when I was younger, but I never knew they had a Pokemon League." That's when Ash elaborates, saying, "Yeah, I went there to school for a little while, and when I was there, they actually made a league, and I became its champion." That's when AJ goes, "Wow, that's honestly incredible. So you're the very first champion. But what are you doing back here?" "Well, there's a long time between now and the next time the Alola League happens again. So, until then, I wanted to keep on exploring and visiting new places and seeing new Pokemon. But then I realized I didn't want to stop traveling or didn't want to stop meeting new people. But then when I came home, I thought to myself, well, I'm the champion of this league my very first attempt. How would things have been if I had the same knowledge and experience I had when I went through the first time? So I decided to re-challenge the Indigo League. It took a little bit of some effort, but thanks to some help, I was able to re-challenge the Indigo League. So so they said I can do it, but I just have to go through each and every single gym all over again." That's when AJ goes, "Wow, isn't that a little bit unfair?" That's when Ash goes, "Well, not really. Because I'm a champion, they gotta hold me to a higher standard, so I have to honor that." That's when AJ nods his head, saying, "That makes no sense. And that's surprisingly mature for you, Ash. What happened?" That's when Misty and Brock just start laughing behind Ash, getting him a little bit embarrassed. That's when Ash actually goes, "Wait a minute. What are you still doing here? I thought you already won your 100 battles and already set off for your gym badges." That's when AJ goes, "Yep, I won all 8 my gym badges, but I wanted to wait and hone my skills before I challenged the Indigo League. So I decided not only would I wait until the next season, I would also win another set number of victories before I challenge the league again." Ash then goes, "Oh, well, how many did you want to do this time?" 500 victories. Ash is incredibly amazed, like, "You want to hit 500 victories?" AJ then just smirks and says, "Yep, I've already got 499. That's when Ash gets a smirk on his face and a Pokeball in his hand, saying, "Oh really? Well, allow me to break your streak." AJ gets the same smirk on his face and goes, "You're on." But before either trainer can make their way to the battlefield, they hear a voice behind them. Well, if it isn't you, sorry lot. Ash, Misty, Brock, and AJ all turn around and they can't believe it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That mysterious trainer I talked about in the last part, he's here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna reintroduce Damien. That's right, Damien followed Ash, Misty, and Brock all the way over to AJ's gym. Ash, Misty, and Brock are all in absolute shock. Ash especially asking, "Damien, what are you doing here?"
Damien just looks over at Ash going, "So, you became champion of some no-name region, huh? I've been to Alola before. It was just some vacation resort. If anything, they probably just set up that league for any brand newbie trainers and they just gave out the championship title to whoever was there at the time. Must have been you." Ash then repeating himself, "Damien, what are you doing here?" Damien then elaborates a little bit. "Well, you see, after you humiliated me the way you and that stupid Charmander did, I decided to do some training. I decided that next time I was going to see you, I would make sure you paid for what you did. I'd humiliate you even worse than what you did me. But unfortunately, I lost track of you after some time. However, that is until I went to go to Cerulean City to go see the famous Cerulean Water Ballet. But imagine my surprise when instead of a ballet, I see you losers trying to make a show of a Pokemon battle. I wasn't even there for the actual ballet. I just wanted to get a good look at those Cerulean girls." This gets Misty really upset, saying, "Hey, those are my sisters." That's when Damien shrugs and goes, "Whatever, I've seen prettier girls anyway." This gets Misty really upset. She actually wants to challenge him to a battle, but before she can step forward, Ash puts his arm out saying, "Damien, what do you want?" That's when Damien looks over at Ash with a look of pure malice, going, "I want to take you down. I want to take you down, and I want to take down that stupid, useless Charmander that humiliated me." That's when Ash looks at Damien and goes, "Hey, don't insult my Pokemon. He and I have been through so much together. In fact, he's become one of my strongest and most reliable Pokemon. One of my closest and best friends." That's when Damien just starts to laugh, going, "Well, no wonder the two of you get along so well. You're both just as useless and stupid." Before Damien can say anything else, a whip cracks in the middle of everyone. Everyone just looks over at AJ and they see a whip in his hands and a serious look in his face as he goes, "Hey, I don't know what's going on here, but it's obvious the two of you have beef with each other. So why not sell it in a Pokemon battle? In fact, if you guys even want to transfer some Pokemon in, I have a transfer machine inside my tent." Damien just looks over at Ash going, "No, I'm okay, but you call over whoever you want. You can use the extra help." He then walks over toward the battlefield, going past AJ. But before he walks past him, Damien just stops and says, "I don't know who you are, but after I take down the champion, you're next on my list." Before walking toward the battlefield, AJ just smirks to himself, going, "And I'll be happy to take you down." Looks like a new rivalry has just started. That's when AJ walks over to Ash and goes, "Well, Ash, do you need to use the transfer system? Do you want to call anyone over to help you out?" Ash actually thinks about it for a second. Before he can say no, he actually goes, "Actually, yeah, I need to call an old friend." AJ and Ash then walk inside the tent, and about 5 minutes later, they both walk right out. Ash making his way over to his side of the battlefield, while AJ takes up his spot at the referee's box. Misty and Brock taking up 2 chairs up on the side of the battlefield, just watching. Commenting to each other. "Brock, do you think Ash is going to be okay?" Brock looks over at Misty and goes, "Oh, don't worry, Misty. Ash has it in the bag." "What makes you so sure?" Damien just got through insulting one of Ash's oldest and most trustworthy friends. "Believe me, Ash isn't going to let that slide." That's when AJ announces, "Alright, this will be a 3-on-3 Pokemon battle between Ash and Damien. The rules are simple. The battle will be over when all 3 of either trainer's Pokemon are unable to battle. Please bring out your first Pokemon." That's when Damien, with a smirk on his face, calls out, "Let's go, Dodrio!" The 3-headed bird takes the battlefield. Ash can tell, it's strong but poorly trained. But before Ash calls out his first Pokemon, he declares to Damien, "Damien, you insulted my home of Alola. You insulted my title as champion, and worst of all, you insulted my friend. So not only am I going to beat you in this battle, but I'm going to do it without losing a single Pokemon." Upon this declaration, everyone gets shocked. Brock, Misty, and AJ. Even Pikachu gets shocked by this. Damien, however, just stands there with a scowl on his face going, "I'd like to see you try." That's when Ash commands Pikachu to take the field. He'll be his first Pokemon. That's when Pikachu takes the field, ready for battle. AJ then calling out, "Alright, battle begin." Damien, wanting to make the first move, calls it to Dodrio, commanding it to use Peck. Dodrio rushes in with all 3 beaks, getting ready to skewer Pikachu. But Ash calls out for Pikachu to dodge. Dodging out of the way, Pikachu nearly avoids all 3 of Dodrio's beaks. Dodrio's fast, but Pikachu's faster. That's when Ash calls out, "Now, Pikachu, stop it in his tracks. Use Electro Web." Pikachu, launching an Electro Web, hits Dodrio's feet, both shocking it and pinning it in place. Damien is getting frustrated, telling Dodrio, "Dodrio, snap out of it. Use Tri Attack." Dodrio tries its best to launch out a Tri Attack, but Ash just tells Pikachu to dodge one more time. It's actually getting easier and easier for Pikachu to dodge. Damien's getting more upset, just calling out commands left and right, until finally Damien gets mad and calls out, "Dodrio, get out of there and use Drill Peck." Finally getting itself freed, Dodrio launches out an even more powerful peck attack. But Ash is ready for this, telling Pikachu, "Pikachu, use quick attack, get in close." Pikachu actually running straight for it, actually ducking and sliding underneath Dodrio's drill peck, ends up right on its underbelly. That's when Ash calls out, "Now, Pikachu, use Thunderbolt, full power." Pikachu, with everything he's got, launches out a Thunderbolt, hitting Dodrio right on its weak spot, knocking it out in almost one hit. That's when AJ calls out, "Dodrio is unable to battle. The winner is Pikachu." Pikachu cheers on a little bit, Ash thanking it for an amazing battle, but tells it to return. Pikachu's confused, it hasn't taken any damage, but Pikachu does not question his trainer as he makes his way right back to Ash's side. Misty, however, actually does question this, saying aloud, "Why would Ash call back Pikachu? It doesn't have a scratch on it." That's when Brock goes, "Because he wants to teach Damien a lesson." Misty then turning to Brock, saying, "What? What do you mean, Brock?" Brock just stares at the battlefield, but he explains to Misty, saying, Ash wants Damien to pay for what he said. He wants to show him that not only does Ash deserve to keep his title of Alolan champion, but he also wants to show him that nobody messes with his friends. Nobody. Back at the battle, AJ calls to Damien, "Please call out your next Pokemon." Damien just snapping at AJ going, "Don't tell me what to do," before looking over at Ash saying, "You got lucky on that one, but you're not going to beat this next one. Let's go, Scyther!" The mantis Pokemon takes the field. This Scyther is different though. You can tell it lusts for battle. Ash takes note of this going, this is going to be one tough opponent. Alright then, let's go, Gibble! Ash's Land Shark Pokemon is ready to go. Ash then calls out to Gibble, "Gibble, be careful. This Scyther is different." Gibble then nods in acknowledgement at his trainer. It understands to be on its toes. AJ calling out, "Battle, begin." Damien actually starts to mock Gibble, saying, "Wait, what's that thing? A potato with teeth?" Actually starting to mock and berate Gibble, starting to laugh a little bit. Even Scyther's starting to join in a little bit. Needless to say, this gets Ash and Gibble pretty upset and really mad, but Ash isn't showing it. Gibble on the other hand is getting more and more frustrated, but Ash just calls out, "Gibble!" Gibble, just stopping in his tracks, looks back at Ash inquisitively. It sees Ash is completely calm. Ash looking over at Gibble saying, "Gibble, calm down. We've got this." This actually gets to Gibble, forcing it to calm down and just let the insults fly right over it. Damien and Scyther both notice this. Damien actually getting a little bit upset, saying, "Don't ignore us. Scyther, now, use Swords Dance." Scyther's blade things, I don't know what they're called. If somebody knows what they're called, please let me know in the comment section below. I honestly have no idea. But anyway, Scyther's blades actually begin to glow as it starts to dance around, increasing its stats. Ash actually telling Gibble, "Alright Gibble, now, use Dig." Gibble boring into the ground to try and get some defense on it, awaits Ash's command. Scyther, be ready for it and then use Air Slash. Scyther nods as it waits for its opponent to come back up. That's when Ash calls, "Now!" Gibble emerges from the ground right behind Scyther, but Scyther was ready for this as it beats its wings at incredible speeds, producing gusts of razor-sharp wind that hit Gibble right on target, knocking Gibble down, having it slide across the battlefield. Damien starts laughing again, calling Gibble pathetic. Scyther actually starts to taunt Gibble, as if it's saying, "Is this really the best you can do? Come on, I've had Oran berries that were tougher than you." Gibble is actually getting more and more mad. Gibble may trust his trainer, but it is still pretty young. It's getting really frustrating, you can see. That's when Ash calls out, "Come on Gibble, you've got this, use Dragon Pulse." Gibble actually getting way too frustrated, launching a Dragon Pulse right at Scyther, but Damien just tells Scyther to cut it in half. So with a Night Slash, Scyther does just that, cutting the Dragon Pulse in half as if for nothing. This actually surprises Gibble, as Damien says, "Now, it's Night Slash one more time." Scyther actually lunging right for Gibble, slashes at him with the Night Slash, doing again massive damage, having it slide across the battlefield one more time at Ash's direction, landing almost right at its feet. Gibble can't believe it, he's not doing good at all. In fact, Gibble's actually going through flashback after flashback. The battle against Samurai in Verodian Forest, and how it lost against Ariados. The battle in Pewter City, how it barely just tied off with Brock, not even making out a full victory. And then the battle against Misty Starmie, it barely did a thing in that battle. All these emotions, all these feelings, all this rage and frustration are boiling up in Gibble more and more. But Ash kneels down to Gibble and just tells him, "Gibble, calm down. You're one of my strongest Pokemon. You're one of my closest friends. You've gotten me through so much. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be competing right now. You've kept me in the Indigo League, and I know that you have the power in you to get me to that championship and win it all." Gibble then just stands up, looking at Ash with a determined look on its eyes, nodding its head saying, "I will not give up." It then turns to Scyther with a look that could kill, saying, "I will not lose, before roaring out to the heavens as if it's repeating the exact same thing. That's when it happens. Yep. Gibble starts to glow. It's evolving. Once the glowing stops, Gibble is revealed to be a brand new Gabite. Ash is completely amazed by this, actually giving Gabite a big ol' hug, saying, "Congratulations, Gabite. I knew you had the power in you. You ready to finish off this battle and take down Scyther?" Gabite just smiles and nods at Ash. It's ready to take on anything for him. Alright, Gabite, use, but before Ash could finish giving out a command, Gabite actually holds out its claw as if he's telling him to wait, because he has something to show him. Upon evolving, Gabite just learned Dragon Claw. Ash is completely amazed by this, saying, "Gabite, you learned a brand new move. Awesome. Alright, let's test it out. Now, use Dragon Claw." Gabite then lunges right for Scyther at incredible speeds, hitting Scyther right on point, knocking it back, knocking it down. It's almost out. Damien is getting more and more mad, telling Scyther, "Scyther, get up, you useless." Scyther's looking over at Damien, almost hostile-like. It didn't like that comment. But Damien ignores it. You can tell both trainer and Pokemon just don't like each other, but they're using each other just to gain more power. That's when Damien calls it to Scyther. "Scyther, take this thing down. Use Night Slash." Scyther, actually focusing its anger and frustration out on Gabite instead of on Damien, lunges toward Gabite, with both its claws encased in dark energy. That's when Ash calls out to Gabite. "Gabite, now, use Dragon Claw." Both Pokemon launch at each other, Dragon Claw versus Night Slash. Both Pokemon can get every single thing they've got. But thanks to Gabite's brand new heightened power, it's able to overpower Scyther. That's when Ash calls out, "Now, Gabite, Dragon Pulse." Gabite launching out a Dragon Pulse right at Scyther, hits it almost point blank range, knocking it down, knocking it out. Damien then recalls his Pokemon going, "Ugh, is everybody in my team useless?" This gets everybody mad just looking at Damien with complete death glares. That's when AJ calls out, "Scyther is unable to battle. Gabite wins it." Ash looking over at Gabite saying, "Thank you so much, Gabite. I appreciate this. Please return. Have a nice rest." Gabite nodding as it returns to its Pokeball. Damien just looking over at Ash, just throwing insult after insult and just screaming his hell. Everyone's just ignoring him, Ash especially. "Alright, fine, I'm gonna take you down with my strongest Pokemon," Damien says as he throws out his Pokeball, revealing a Rhydon. As it hits the battlefield, it shakes the entire surrounding area. Everybody's in awe at this thing's insane power. "Well, are you gonna bring out that stupid Charmander?" That's when Ash just holds up a Pokeball, saying, "No. I brought Charizard," Ash says as he throws Charizard's Pokeball into the air. As soon as Ash said Charizard, Damien's got a look of shock on his face. That's when Charizard emerges from his Pokeball, landing on the battlefield, roaring, showing off its power. It dwarfs Rhydon's by a large margin. So you finally went off and made yourself useful and became a Charizard, huh? Why couldn't you do that with me?" Charizard just says nothing, turning around, looking at Ash. That's when AJ just calls out, "Battle, begin." Ash only having one thing to say, "Charizard, have fun." Charizard just smiles, turning back around at the Rhydon, but staring right at Damien. That's when Charizard's claws start to grow. It's using Dragon Claw. Damien just saying, "Wait, what's going on? Shouldn't you give it commands?" But Ash is not saying a thing. That's when Damien calls out, "Rhydon, use Brick Break." Rhydon launches forward using Brick Break as Charizard launches forward using Dragon Claw. Both Pokemon appear evenly matched, but Charizard is just playing with Rhydon. As soon as Rhydon leaves an opening for itself, Charizard just trips it with its tail, as if it's just toying with it. Damien yelling at Rhydon, "Rhydon, get up and use Iron Tail." Rhydon using his Iron Tail launches it right for Charizard, but Charizard just moves out of the way with its wings, launching out a flamethrower right at it, hitting it right on the mark. Rhydon felt that one. Misty and Brock are in complete shock. Misty turning over to Brock asking, "Brock, what's going on? How come Ash isn't giving any commands?" Brock then turns to Misty saying, "I have one theory. I think Ash is letting Charizard vent." Misty goes, "What do you mean vent?" Well, think about it. Damien is Charizard's first trainer technically. The two of them have gone through much. After everything they've been through, Damien just left little Charmander just to die on that rock, without any regards to it. But as soon as it started showing any promise, Damien just wanted to catch it, as if it was nothing but a tool for it to use. So Ash telling Charizard to have fun? I think Ash just wants to scare Damien, or at least wants to teach him a lesson. Misty then looking at Oliver at Charizard going, "Wow, if Charizard is this strong without Ash giving any commands, how strong is it when the two of them work together?" Back at the battle, Rhydon is getting more and more tired. It's panting heavily and starting to sweat. Meanwhile, Charizard is just standing there, waiting for more. Damien, however, is actually starting to lose his voice. He's getting really, really mad. That's when Damien just starts calling off command after command, not even thinking about strategy. It calls out Earthquake, Iron Tail, Brick Break, until finally Damien calls out, Rhydon, use Horn Drill. Rhydon's drill begins to spin rapidly as it lunges forward towards Charizard, getting ready to hit it with a one-hit KO move. But Ash knew this was coming. That's when Ash actually calls out to Charizard saying, Charizard! Getting Charizard's attention, Ash calls out, Charizard, dodge it! Charizard actually starts to fly up into the air. That's when Ash calls out, now, grab it and use Seismic Toss! Charizard flying back down, grabbing Rhydon almost in a full Nelson, launching it up in the air, flying higher and higher into the sky until you can't even see it anymore. Until finally, Charizard just throws Rhydon straight down to the ground. Rhydon hits the ground, shaking everything, almost making an earthquake upon impact, and producing a large dust cloud in the process. By the time the dust cloud clears and Charizard lands, it shows. Rhydon is knocked out, unable to battle. That's when AJ calls out, Rhydon is unable to battle. The winner of this match is Ash and Charizard. Charizard and Ash not even saying a thing, as Charizard walks over to Ash and just nods its head as if it's saying thank you, before Ash looks over at Charizard, giving it a big ol' hug, returning it to its Pokeball. AJ then walks over to Damien saying, Damien, you lost this match, but at the same time, you insulted a fellow trainer, insulted his Pokemon, and even disrespected his own title from the region where he got it from. You are no longer welcome in my gym. Leave. Damien is just upset. He looks like he's on the verge of doing something he's gonna regret. But he just turns to AJ saying, you better watch your back as soon as you leave this gym, because I'll be coming for you. Before turning around and walking away. AJ, just looking at Damien as he leaves, turns over to Ash, thinking to himself, well, looks like I have somebody to watch out for. Back on the battlefield, all the friends join back up, congratulating Ash, telling him he did an amazing job and that was a really cool battle. Back with Damien, after he leaves AJ's gym, he just thinks to himself, I will take down Ash Ketchum. I will take down that Charizard, and I will humiliate them the same way they humiliated me. They haven't seen the last of me. Back with the gang, AJ actually offers to everyone that he'll host them for the night so they can have some dinner and get some rest and relaxation, because tomorrow, the next day, AJ actually wants to battle against Ash for his 500th victory. Ash just says bring it on. Later on that evening at dinner, everyone's just sitting around talking, having a good time. That's when AJ asks Ash, so Ash, where do you plan to go from here? That's when Ash looks over at AJ and going, oh, right, well, our next stop is Vermilion City. That's where I got the Thunder Badge from Lieutenant Surge. AJ then going, oh yeah, that's right, he should be back by now. That's when everyone looks at him confused, saying, what do you mean back by now? AJ actually elaborates, saying, oh, well, you see, quite some time ago, after Lieutenant Surge lost the battle against you, he actually went on for a training trip for some time, leaving his student behind. I should warn you though, Ash, she is insanely strong. I'd watch my back around her if I were you. That's when Ash goes, how do you know this girl? AJ then sheepishly goes, well, believe it or not, she was both the first and last gym I ever challenged. Everyone looking at him going, wait, what do you mean? Well, after I took off on my journey to go start collecting badges, the Vermilion City gym was the closest. So I went to Vermilion City and challenged that gym to a battle, and unfortunately, I lost. I actually left and challenged all the other gyms around the region before I came back to her for my 8th badge. So I was able to barely beat her Electrode, but I got the Thunder Badge all the same. That's when I came back here and I started getting victory after victory, until of course you guys came back to my gym. Ash actually stands up going, are you serious? She's that strong? That's when Ash looks over at AJ going, well, whoever is in charge of the gym, I'll beat them and regain my Thunder Badge. And that's where we're going to leave it off for now, guys. Yeah, I know, these guys took a big old detour going to see AJ's gym, but I want to kind of get some stuff established. I want to start introducing more and more rivals to Kanto because, I mean, in the first season, we all have to admit, the only rival, quote-unquote, Ash had was just Gary and Richie. And they really didn't do much. I mean, Ash lost against Richie, badly I should say, and he never even faced Gary once in a match until after he got to Johto. I want to make this a really good story for you guys. Also, in the last part, you guys gave me a lot of good comments when I asked you guys what your favorite Pokemon was. The feedback was amazing, so I'm going to keep doing that at the end of each part now. I'm calling this the, I guess you could say, question of the video. So, for this one's question, it's going to be something simple. Would you guys want to see me do other what-if stories for other mediums, not just Pokemon? Pokemon's just my favorite franchise, yeah, but I'm willing to do other ones. Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia, Naruto, and not just anime. Anime, movies, TV shows, comics, video games, whatever. Please let me know if you guys would want to see me do other stories. And you know what? I'll even shout out my favorite comment at the beginning of the next video. Lastly guys, we are growing at a very steady but very slow rate. So I'm begging you guys, please hit the like button, subscribe. I want to just see how soon we can hit 1,000 subscribers, guys. Come on. I know we can do it. And so with that being said, guys, until next time, this is Broken Soul saying, may y'all souls be ever bright. I love you guys. Bye.